My name is Alicia Spargo. I live here in Los Gatos. I'm indigenous of the Yaqui Tribe. Yep. And I've lived here for about 4 years. It's been really difficult living here. When I first moved here, I wasn't really aware that much because it's kind of like micro racism. I would try to go into stores and I wouldn't be helped. Like one instance that always comes out is that I was looking for a dress, and the woman that was working there, she asked me, like, what are you looking for? And she never like got up, from her seat or anything. It's like she wasn't really like wanting to be helpful to me. Right. And I told her that I was looking for a dress for an event, and she was like, well, we might have the right dress, but not the right price.
The right dress, but not the right price.
Yeah. So I just walked out. It's things like that that I have experienced here many times. And after a while, I was just like, okay, like this town is not welcoming of people of color. All my life, I grew up in Arkansas, so I had received racism there. Right. But nothing like here in Los Gatos. Right. It's almost like a gated community. Everyone knows each other. It's very, very much predominantly white. Right. And recently I had learned from reading a packet that the city council had sent out in regards to a meeting that they were giving to try and discuss environmental and social justice and racial justice in this town. Within that document, they had stated different things that had happened in the history of this town. One of them was that there used to be a lynching tree.
A lynching tree? Where was the lynching tree at? I didn't know this.
Yeah, I didn't either. And it's not something, when I brought it to the Anti-Racist Coalition, to their attention, because we had all been sent that document. It was kind of farther on down, but we were all shocked. All of us have lived here for pretty long periods of time, right. Some of them their whole lives. Nobody knew that there was a lynching tree. Right. And I believe, I can't remember the name of the street, but to my understanding, it still stands. Right. So that's something that we're looking into.
Well, the tree still stands, but
yes.
Nobody knows what that tree stood for.
Exactly.
Unless they know. Right.
Exactly. But another thing was that there had been a reported group of actual Nazi activity here in Los Gatos in 1920. And then in 1880, there was also a KKK Nazi faction that was based here in Los Gatos as well. So we had 1880 and then another pop-up in 1920. Not to say that it ever disappeared, but more that it was become a topic of a town council and discussion that would be discussed in a town council. Right. So we have instances in 1880 and 1920. Another thing that was talked about in that document was that the possibility of Los Gatos being once referred to as a sundown town.
Sundown town? What does that mean?
So a sundown town basically means that in a predominantly white town that anyone of color would have till sundown to get out of town, otherwise that lynching tree might be used.
Right. So basically, if you're African American, Latino, any person of color that they didn't accept in this neighborhood, right. once the sun drops, you better be gone.
Yes.
Or we're taking you to the lynching tree.
Yes.
Right.
Which I think is probably something that they would have implemented in order to keep the workers out of living here and going home. In that document, it stated that they weren't 100% sure on whether or not Los Gatos was a sundown town, right. But it was mentioned, and it was also mentioned that there were very neighboring towns that were documented as being a sundown town.
Right.
So this is what.
So it sounds like it was that was.
Yes.
That was a part of this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to hide it because.
Yeah.
2020, they don't want to.
Right.
Have that piece of history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Because once you get these certain pieces of history like out and about, you're like, oh, this is what happened?
Right.
Oh, this is what you guys support?
Right.
Oh, it's still here?
Well, I think after speaking with the members of the town council, some of them have come and spoken to me personally and have made meetings with me personally to try and they want me to know that they want to fix it.
Yeah, no, people want to fix it.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but
not
certain people
everybody.
do.
Definitely not everybody.
I believe people want to fix it.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that everybody is not, you know what I mean, racist.
Yeah.
I understand that.
But
But
at
then
the
there's
same
the
time,
old,
there are some.
Yes. And
Yeah.
not only is there people who want to keep it instated, they're still teaching that to their kids in order to keep it stated.
Right.
You know how we first kind of like passed each other. We were kind of like, I was arguing with some Caucasian people who were trying to tell me, you know, you need to go after the pedophiles.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter is a Marxist group.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
Well, regardless of all that, there's a statement in my life mattering, right? So there's a statement. No matter what you think of whoever is Marxist or whoever is whatever, this statement of making sure that I make it home safe when I'm driving home at night, I don't get like looked at as some person of a criminal or something that they're gonna shoot first, or you know what I mean. When you walk into a store, you know what I mean, not knowing you from 2 seconds, saying that you can't buy that, you can't afford this.
I could have absolutely bought any dress in that store.
You can't afford this. What is this? What is this, lady? What do you mean I can't afford this? What, you just don't want me to support your store? Exactly. You don't want my money? You don't know my husband. You don't know our struggles. You don't know me. You don't know me as a person. You know what? You don't know anything about me. You just saw who I was, and you had your main idea that I don't want that person in there. We might. They have the money. Think about it. If you have, if you're walking around here shopping to look for a dress. So you were saying that you were receiving death threats.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable.
Basically, it happened because I had gotten separated from the march the last time. I stopped to try and get some people to join us, people that I knew, and then it came to my attention that they were actually clocked in and working, so they couldn't. I went to try and go with the march, but I got stuck on the light, so I got behind even further. So I found myself in a situation to where I was walking by myself. One thing that I've noticed about the demographic of people who are making these threats towards women of color, they're all older. I believe that the term white is not Caucasian, real, so they were European Americans. And so I was walking and a man, he saw my sign, my Indigenous solidarity with Black Lives Matter. And he told me to go back to where I come from. And I was like, well, I'm Indigenous, as the sign suggests.
Go back where you come from. Do you
not I'm from here.
Do you not understand that Indigenous people are from the land?
Exactly.
Indigenous means of this land.
Exactly.
Where are your ancestors from?
Yes.
Where are your people from?
They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that conversation. So
are your people Indigenous too?
No, he was not.
What is the actual name of this land? You know what I mean? So I'm Indigenous to this land. I might be African American, but I'm Choctaw.
Fully. So
I'm Native American also. So I'm Indigenous.
Aboriginal Americans. Yes.
So we are Aboriginal Americans. Yes. And so like that's one of the things when you were speaking that I was like, and you said, follow me on Instagram, and if anybody wants to speak with me, I'm like, yo, I gotta talk to this lady. I gotta hear her out. I gotta share her story with more people, or you know what I mean? Maybe your story's been shared by so many people, but there's more people. We could all continue to share each other's story, right? I feel like it's very important to share each other's story. And the guy was saying like he feels bad that it's women only leading the march, but the women bring us into this world.
So I guess it's kind of natural for us to
The women are the protectors. They're trying to protect their kids.
Exactly.
They're trying to, you know what I mean? They're fending for their own. And so as men, if we don't get behind you, we're chumps.
We've gotten really lucky. Kareem has been really supportive at the first march that Mika had organized, who was a teenager and who had gone to Los Gatos High School here. He held the umbrella for me because it was so hot, and that's just kind of a symbolic way in which he's helped all of us girls. And then also when we had our town council meeting, I don't know why I didn't mention it, but he had brought it to the attention of the town council that every single woman that had planned either protest, the first one or the second one, has all received death threats.
Right. So every woman who has had their hand in putting together these protests and speaking up has had death threats.
Yes.
What do we do about that?
That's the tricky part. After speaking to town council, I proposed that we need to really distinguish the difference between freedom of speech and hate speech. Right. A lot of these people who claim to be Christian patriot, Trump supporters that were there at the last march that were very hateful and I'm imagining are behind the death threats.
Well, I see them. So there's a group message for Los Gatos chat, and they're saying they're going to run over the kids, and they're saying they're going to fuck people up.
Yeah.
I'll come by and I'll run them over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you guys could identify these people. Like it's easy to identify these people.
Yeah, we know who they are.
You need to go put those people in jail.
Yeah.
Those people need to get, those are hate crimes.
Exactly. That's
those
what
people need to go to jail.
Yeah, that's what
we're telling, if they're voicing their opinion that they're going to go run over some kids.
Yeah.
Which might be their kids too, who are against them and against their racist ideologies.
Yeah.
You're saying, you're an adult, you mean to tell me you're gonna let adults go online and voice their opinion and say they're about to run people over?
Right.
They need to go put these people in jail.
Yeah. So right now we are working with the town council to try and establish the difference between freedom of speech and hate speech. And then we're going to start implementing different ways in which we can document that harassment so that we can figure out exactly who is making those horrible statements, who is behind this group of people who are making these threats. And it's interesting because we're the solution that the town is currently giving us is to inform the police, in which Kareem actually very quickly said that we weren't comfortable with going to the police. So right now we're trying to come up with...
We're not comfortable going to the police.
Exactly. So right now we're trying to figure out...
Why are we not comfortable going to the police? So...
It hasn't been 100% the most welcoming...
Effective way?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go to Sacramento.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have to go to the Congress and the people. So we
need better laws to help these people who are doing the harassment to not feel comfortable in doing it.
We need the state, we need the county, we need the officials to step in and say, hey, you guys got to go arrest these people.
Exactly.
Hey, these guys are doing hate crimes. We need the FBI and the people, like, if you guys are really about this America and freedom of speech and hate crime laws that you guys are pushing, you guys got to go find these people.
Yeah, go get them.
We need to show, because if they're doing these hate crimes, they need to be prosecuted.
Right.
They can't say they can't put death threats on.
Yeah, especially a 17-year-old child. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's intense here in Los Gatos, and I have had some serious discussions with my husband on whether or not we want to move. But right now, I feel like I'm here for a reason. I've met the people.
Move.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving is not going to solve the situation.
It's just a temporary. It feels like a very selfish.
You're going to move into it. Think about it. Like if you live in this neighborhood, right? You're only going to move into another, and if you move into another neighborhood in America, right? They're going to be right across the street from you. So unless we go move to like Colombia or Nicaragua or Africa,
even there,
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
So I'm gonna stand firm, and I'm gonna work with these people. Yeah, I'm gonna work with these people that I've met and that I know really believe in this, and we're in it for the long haul. And we've been talking to a town council about a plan that is going to be implemented today and go all the way until 2040. So I know that this is something that is like we're in it for the long haul, and I'm down to help. I'm down to help create a new system that benefits all. That's my goal.